great about that, other than trying to help people who are in a state of invasion. I mean, welcome back to the Immigration Answer Show. My name is Jim Hacking, and this is episode number 615 of the Immigration Answer Show. How's everybody doing? What's going on in your neck of the woods? How was your weekend? Happy Monday and all that shit. What is going on? It's Monday. Oh, I made a TikTok this morning. I was sort of fired up. Let's see how it's doing. I haven't checked TikTok today. Let's see how it's doing. I had fun making it. 10,000 views. That's what I'm talking about. All right. It's Monday, our first show in the weekdays of June. So I'll be here for the next hour answering your questions, trying to help people sort out their immigration matters. Diane is here, JD's here, Chev is here, Chetty, Old Creaky Bones, Kwaku, JD, Imran, Hina's in the waiting room helping with the comments. Hoolie's on assignment. Imran is here. Tyrone. Nurse Laura says it's super windy in Seattle. Robert is here. Wait, did I miss good news from Creaky Bones? What does it say? I don't know. What's the Creaky Bones got going on? Oh, yeah. I know they're going to start practicing immigration law soon. That's good. Saya's here. Rocio's here. AJ's here. Tony's here. Julian's coming to the U.S. next week. How about that? All right. I'm going to go ahead and get started. Let's talk to Liesel. Hello, Liesel. Hello? You're on mute. I can't hear you. Thumbs up with your mic. There we go.
Yes, hello.
Hi.
Hello, Jim.
How you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great. Happy Monday.
Yeah. Happy Monday. Can I request for off camera?
All set.
Thank you, sir. I have a question, sir. I have just passed the citizenship, the naturalization.
Okay.
Yes, and I have I receive a letter, RFE, request for evidence.
Okay.
And my visa is EW3, and the problem is I didn't work for my employee petitioner. Something happened.
What happened?
I was not able to contact them. I was trying to contact them in a month, but I didn't get an answer. So I didn't work for them.
Okay. And how long ago was that?
It was 2018. I came in America 2018 March.
So you've been hanging out here for 5 years, 4 years, 6 years?
Yes, but after a year I work for I look for a work in a nursing facility also as well.
Okay.
Yeah, and then after that I've worked, but the question is I never been worked to my employee petitioner.
So you have no status. You're out of status.
I'm out of status.
You haven't been working for your employer for
No.
5 years.
Oh yeah, for my employer, yes.
So you're out of status. If
So
you go to Canada or Mexico tomorrow, you have a 10-year bar on coming back.
what should I do, Mr. Jim? Because I received this RFE letter that I need to prove that I work for my employer.
What are you applying for?
Um, I I'm not applying for anything. I'm actually my status now. I'm working visa, but not what I know is under my employer.
So, okay. When they
Okay.
send you an RFE, that's because there's an underlying case. What's the
Yes.
underlying case?
Let me read it down. Where can I read it? Where can I see it, sir?
It should say sort of at the top.
Because it says here you must provide an evidence that you work for petitioning employer, and the only evidence that I have is the letter from the employer that describe my specific jobs.
Okay. All right. So,
salary.
did you apply for citizenship?
Yes, I applied for citizenship. So I passed the civics exam,
Oh, okay.
the written in English.
So you have a green card,
Yes, I do have a green card, sir.
and when you got your green card, you did you? Okay, I see. So you got a green card to work for an employer, but you've never worked for that employer.
Yes, sir.
Mm. Hmm.
So
Um, that's tricky.
yeah, that's what my question is. What should I do now? Because I've been trying to contact them. When will I start? Who do I contact? To
Do you have,
who I to report
do
to?
you have proof of that?
Say it again, sir.
Do you have proof that you tried to contact them?
Uh, no, because it's a call.
Right. Okay. I'll tell you
Mhm.
what. Can you send me a copy of the request for evidence that you got and your N400 receipt notice, and then we can talk about it? I think you might be in a little bit of trouble. We might want to withdraw the N400. I'm not saying for sure,
Yes,
but
sir.
if you send me that stuff, I'll try to help you sort it out. I haven't had your situation happen before.
Yeah. Okay. How
Okay.
can I
Thanks.
send it? How can I send it to you, sir?
Sure. Info at hackingimmigrationlaw.com. It should be. I'll put it in the banner. There it is. Tina's got
Okay.
it.
Print screen. Okay, sir.
I'm
Maybe.
Liesel. I was the first one on the show on Monday. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you for the answering my call, Mr. Jim.
See ya.
See ya.
All right. All right. I got confused there at the beginning. All right. Nadine is here. Hi, Nadine.
Hi, Jim.
How you doing?
I'm doing really well. How are you?
I'm great.
So I'm actually a new follower of your channel.
Okay.
I've came across like one or two of your videos, and then I just finished watching an hour Q&A, I think from yesterday.
Yeah.
So I'm
Cool.
really excited about that.
Awesome.
So I have my interview coming up in 2 days, actually. Um, and I'm just wondering if you've had any experience with medical exempt waivers. I'm a little bit nervous about that. It's due to like religious reasons. Like I'm pagan and I don't consume any flesh or eat any meat. And I know that vaccines, they're tested on animals that consume animal byproduct as well as they're derived from abortion. So I've put in an exempt, an I-609. I'm a little bit nervous about that. I'm just wondering if you have any like experience
This is a green card interview.
for the marriage.
For a green card
Yes.
at a field office. What field office?
It's in, I think it's in Newark.
Okay. And have you ever had any vaccines at all?
So I've had children vaccines, but I'm from Canada. So in Ontario, Canada, they have under the legal age of 18, you have to abide by the rules of your caregiver or guardian.
Yeah.
So all of the vaccines that I had, it wasn't up to me. It was like when I was really young. And then when in 2016, I converted to paganism.
Okay. And would the whole world agree that people who are pagans don't get vaccines, or is it just some pagans don't get vaccines?
I believe a majority of them don't get vaccines.
And besides you saying that you're pagan, do pagans get together and meet? Do you have proof from other people that you're pagan? Do you have proof from pagan experts that pagans don't participate in vaccines? I mean, because this is going to become the whole issue at your green card interview.
Well, I do have a coven that I do meet with twice a month. And I wouldn't say that they're all pagan, but I do have a few fellow pagans that also share the same beliefs.
And what happened when you did your medical exam?
I had hired another lawyer because I'm currently working with two lawyers, one for the application process for immigration, and then the second for the waiver exempt. And basically, when I went to go to the biometrics, I think for the vaccines, they tested me to see if I have other vaccines, and I think there was just two of them that didn't show up in my blood because it stays in your body forever. And I filled out the application for the I-609 waiver. So there was just, I believe, certain boxes that were checked, um, And the second lawyer that I work with, she helps me fill out a whole like evidence binder for my waiver, for my I-609 waiver.
Okay, well, I'll be very interested to hear how it goes. I think they're going to give you a hard time. New Jersey, Newark is a very, very, very combative, mean office. They're not nice there. Yeah, so I'll be interested to hear how it goes. I have no predictions other than I think those waivers are very hard to get.
Okay. Okay. Well, I appreciate you taking the time.
Thanks, Nadine. Good luck, kid.
Thanks. Take
See ya.
care.
All right, bye. All right. Let's go ahead and check out the I-130 question person. Hello, I-130 question person. Can't hear you. Probably those AirPods. Those AirPods are crazy. The worst thing about those AirPods is when you go in and out of your car. That's the worst.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I have a question. Can I be off camera though?
Done.
Okay. So I talked to you last week. I don't know if you remember. So
I remember.
I'm filing my, I guess, I-130, I-485. I'm married to a U.S. citizen.
Cool.
But they returned my package because of the date.
Yeah.
But you told me I needed to have my I-94 from when I entered. And I was a minor, so I was a child. I asked my mom, and she does not have it. So I was trying to see what I guess would my next step be.
You said I think you said that it's on your passport, but it's very, very faded. Didn't you say that?
No, I think that was somebody else.
Oh,
Because
okay.
I did watch the show.
Okay.
But
Yeah, because
no, I
you had to do
don't.
that same day. So there's nothing in your passport that shows that you were admitted.
No, so we didn't. It wasn't a passport. I do have a copy of our actual like a Visa card that they used to give. I don't
Are you
know.
Canadian?
No, I'm Mexican.
I see. Okay. All right.
So it was like we entered in 2006. I do like the only experience I have, my brother did get his green card, and he came in at the same time as me.
That's good.
And he didn't have his I-94 either, but he did have a copy of his visa. So like, what are the risks of sending it in without it? Or like, what's your take on it?
So when you talk to mom, what did she say? Like, where did you actually, I guess you got waved through?
Yeah, so we actually did get like a permit, but she doesn't have a copy of it. It's been almost 20 years.
But your brother had a copy of it, or no? He had something.
No, he didn't. So, and on his, because I asked him, I asked what they filled out on his I-130 and his I-485.
Yeah.
And it just, they had like all zeros on it. And like where he entered and the expiration date, I guess, of his visa, but not of the actual, I guess, I-94.
Does he still have a visa?
He has a green card. He actually has his interview for his citizenship next week.
Oh yeah, but I mean the old visa. Does he have it?
Yeah, he does. It's the same as mine. Like, I mean, it's just his. But I do have a copy of mine.
Of a visa?
Yeah, it's like a visa. It's like
you mean the card? You mean the
Yeah.
border crossing card?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so you have your border crossing card.
Yeah.
So, but like as far as if I'm you and I'm going into this, I want to do as much as I can in the filing to prevent a request for evidence or a denial down the road. And I should say, just so you know, just because your brother's case got approved doesn't mean yours will.
Yeah, I know. And
Okay.
like that could be with
where does mom say you entered the United States?
We came in through Texas, Presidio.
Texas is big, so any idea where in Texas?
Presidio, Texas.
Okay. And who was there? Your mom and your brother and you?
Yeah.
How old was your brother?
He's a year younger. So we were like 14 and 15.
14.
About.
Do you remember?
Yeah.
You remember coming through?
Yeah.
Okay. And does he remember, I guess?
Yeah.
I think I would include an itemized affidavit from your mom explaining everything that happened, and I would do one from you too. Like, this is how we entered, this is where we entered, like try to be as specific as possible. If you know what time of day you entered. I mean, you could do a CBP FOIA before you file, because what you don't want to happen is if it becomes an issue, they could give you an RFE, a request for evidence, and they might give you 87 days or they might only give you 30 days. So then if you're scrambling, you'll have paid all those extra fees and then they deny it and you're starting over.
Okay. So you said a FOIA
Yeah, CBP, Custom Border Protection FOIA. Yeah, it's going to be, I doubt there's going to be anything in there, but it's worth a shot. You might not necessarily wait to file.
Yeah.
For that. You might.
That was my question.
I mean, are you in a big hurry to get a work card or like
no, I have work card through DACA.
Okay. So your life doesn't change much if your case gets receipted a month from now or 3 months from now.
Oh, no, not too much. Not
really. Here's what I would do. It's all free. I would do a CBP FOIA for you, a CBP FOIA for mom.
Okay.
And then I would see if mom is willing to I guess mom's waiting on you guys to get status. Does mom have any status?
Yeah, my mom's actually a citizen.
Oh.
I'm the only one in the family who's.
I see. So yeah. It's always the oldest kid or the youngest kid. It's never the middle kids that get left behind. Okay.
Yeah, right. I aged out when she did all her status. So unfortunately.
So I would try to track down mom's file, her USCIS file. There might be something in there that's helpful if your brother's willing. I mean, yeah, if your brother's willing, after he gets his citizenship, have him do it. But otherwise, I think I might wait a little bit to file and try to get as much information as I can. Like, you need to be laser focused on proving your valid entry because it's the most important thing to your case. Everything else is going to be easy.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. All right then.
Yeah. Good luck.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye. All right. The waiting room is now full, although I-130 question is bouncing out, so we'll have a little spot. All right. Imran's been waiting. Hello.
Hey, Jim. How are you?
Great, buddy. How you doing?
Not too bad, sir. Do you mind if I'm off camera, please?
There you go, boss.
Awesome. I won't take up too much of your time. I've been approved for a US visa based on a F1 family category. The interview was at the London Embassy a few months ago. It was literally 5 minutes, ridiculously short, very easy, very friendly. The question I have, sir, is should I have declared an Islamic marriage, which is only a verbal nikah? There wasn't any documentation, no ceremony, no legal ceremony or civil ceremony. That marriage is now ended anyway, a few months back. Should I have declared that at the embassy or not?
Nope.
Because from my understanding, it has no legal standing at all, correct?
Correct.
Especially since there's no documentation.
Well, I wouldn't say especially because, but that certainly, yeah, if you'd filed it with the state and tried to make it some kind of legit thing, you'd have a much bigger problem.
Yeah. So the status where I am divorced, even Islamically, so I'm not married or anything like that. So it's not with the intention of bringing somebody over or anything like that. I just want to make sure that even though it's ended, should I have declared it or not?
No. And so you and this person are done. You didn't have any kids. How long were you religiously married?
About 2.5 years.
Yeah, I think you should be okay.
Okay.
All right.
That's it. Thanks you so much.
Bye, buddy.
Take care.
See ya. All right. Klaus is here. Hello, Klaus.
Hey, how are you?
Great. How you doing?
Good. So first, just a few details about my status. So I've been in the US for 9 years, came as a student, got the DV lottery, got the green card after that. Now it's going to be 5 years at the end of June. Thank you. And I'll be applying, I'm completing the forms now, the N400. I'll be applying for citizenship.
Great.
And so the goal is, so my parents are still in Albania, and they have a US visa, so they can still come here, the 10-year visa. But the goal is for me, after I do the citizenship, and hopefully when I become a citizen, to be able to sponsor them. And then after that, our sister, she is in Germany. She's studying there. And the final goal, I guess, is to get her to the US and have one of our parents sponsor her. Now, her age is 18 right now. Her birthday is in October. So she's 18 currently. Her birthday is in October. Once I become a citizen, we're planning that one of our parents can come to the US, so I can sponsor them through the US through adjustment of status, because it's faster than doing it through Albania. From what I've heard, the process here is faster to have a green card. And what do you think in terms of the timeline? I've asked a few people. Some people have told me that once the age when one of our parents tries to sponsor our sister when they have a green card, she just has to be under 21 at the time of filing. Some others have told me there's a formula involved.
There's a formula.
So what exactly is the formula? Because I haven't.
Before we get to that, okay.
Sure.
One thing I want to make clear is I'm glad you're going to become a citizen, and I'm glad that your parents are going to come visit you. And if only one of them happens to come, that's fine too. But that parent can't have the intent of coming and applying for a green card. You can have that intent, but they can't have that intent. So if they come and visit you and then they decide to apply. So let's say you file for your citizenship, you said at the end of the month, right? So let's say you become a citizen September 1st, right? If they come and visit you in the United States, they have to wait 60 days to file, right? If they file within the first 60 days, then they're sort of presumed to have immigrant intent, because you can't come on a non-immigrant visa and have immigrant intent. So maybe they come see you before you get your citizenship, or like right before you get your citizenship, because then those 60 days would be counting at the same time. But if they decide while they're here to apply for a green card, and they get that green card, that process could take 8, 9, 10 months. So then your sister's probably 19, right? Into 19. So the calculator that you want to see is called the CSPA calculator, the Child Status Protection Act calculator. There's different websites have it. You want to make sure it's updated, because they've changed CSPA guidance the last couple of years twice. But it's not going to be 100%. Because we don't know how long these cases are going to continue to take. For a long time, it was all current and it would have been really fast. Then it went back to 4 years. Now it's back to 3 years, and it's getting better. But you won't know for sure. She's probably going to age out, but we don't know for sure.
So when you say 4 years or 3 years, that's from the time of filing to the time. What exactly does that represent?
Till the time there's a visa available.
I see.
But the formula involves, when did you file? How old was she on the day that you filed? The formula also involves how long was the case pending at USCIS, and the formula involves when does a visa become available in her category. Category
being the children of parents with a green card.
Well, A or B, because we don't know what she's going to be. Yeah. In other words, what I'm saying is full steam ahead, do everything that you're doing, but she's probably going to age out and take the longer route on F2B. It's impossible to know right now. You couldn't run the calculator now, because there's things you don't know how long it's going to take at USCIS. You don't know how long it's going to take on the other thing.
Okay. And just a couple questions for the end for Anjit. Should I apply? So I live in Queens, New York right now. I moved in from Philly, but I still, at my brother's place, I still go back and forth kind of in Philly, because that's where all my friends and family are. Do you know whether it's faster through New York, or if I apply for citizenship from the Philly address? It doesn't matter.
It's impossible to know. Every case goes its own speed. Different cases have different little hiccups. We've been happy with Brooklyn. We've been happy with Philly. We've had cases get delayed at Philly. So I don't think what I would say is, wherever you sleep at night, whatever your real address is, use that.
Okay. And should I apply online or by mail, or that doesn't make any difference in terms of the speed processing?
We like mail. They say it's faster with electronic. We did one electronic here. So we did one electronic here 2 months ago, and it's for a team member of ours, and she has her ceremony on Friday. So
I see.
So it might
And
be.
I heard when you apply online, they also, when they send you a mail back, they also send you an email. Does that still happen when I apply by mail for the citizenship, or?
If you fill out that form, there's a
Are-
little form. Yep.
Yeah, the electronic. Okay. Okay, I think that's all. And one last question. So throughout the time, and even for my green card, even for my brother's green card, I did like kind of everything myself. We didn't use a lawyer just not to pay the fee. But for this one, since I'm trying to do everything as fast as possible, should I just complete everything and in the end do like an appointment with a lawyer just to make sure everything is correct, so they don't send like an RFE or something?
You could do that, but most lawyers, that would be a stupid thing for a lawyer to do because they'd be liable for your case, but they wouldn't be getting paid. So most lawyers won't do that.
Oh no, for a fee, like pay a lawyer to.
No, they want. Well, at our office, we either want to be the lawyer throughout. We don't want to just look over your stuff and say, "Yeah, go."
I see.
Bye, Klaus.
Thank you. Bye,
buddy. Yep, for sure. Aziza's here. What's up, Aziza?
Good, and how are you?
I'm great. How are you doing?
Good. I have some question regarding my 400 application.
Okay.
I applied my application 3 months earlier. I have my green card, and I get my green card through DV lottery. And my main concern is on a child on it says your family section. And the question is, are you providing support for this child? Since I have 2 kids, since they are residing with me, and what options should I choose, like yes or no?
You pay all their bills?
Yeah.
Yeah, you put yes.
Okay, and I put yes, but yeah, it says another question. It says child and spousal support.
Hold on. I'm going to pull up the form, okay? Did you say you already filed?
Yes, I am filed, but I'm stuck on to these sections.
I'm sorry, it broke up a little bit. Did you say you already filed?
Yeah, but I filed, but I'm not yet submitted my application because I'm stuck on these sections.
Okay, so, okay, hold on. Identify your total number of children under age 18. Child's name, date of birth, residence, relationship. Are you providing support for this child? Yes.
Okay, but here is also another section. It says child and spousal support. Provide evidence that you have complete with any child and spousal support obligations.
Okay, hold on. So now are you in part 14?
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't have to do part 14 because they live with you, right?
Yeah, they are living with me, but
so you don't have to fill that part out. It says if any of your children do not reside with you, provide the addresses where they live and the support that you provide. You don't need to worry about that.
Because I'm trying to not upload any like documents. It says if you're not gonna to apply any evidence, your application will deny it.
I don't know what you're talking about, sweetheart. I'm sorry.
The
kids live with you. You support them. That's it. You don't have to supply any documents. That's for people that are divorced and they want to make sure they're not deadbeat dads. That's not you.
Oh, okay. Because like in the below it says you should provide evidence. If you do not provide evidence, your application processing may be delayed.
Yeah, you're good.
Oh, it's good.
Mm-hmm.
And okay. And what about additional information? As I am also a full-time student, should I? It's okay if I'm gonna to upload my enrollment verification form that I am currently a student.
If you want to, sure.
Okay. Okay. Thank you so much. That was
Bye, Adiza. Good luck.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye. All right. Lady's here. Hello, lady.
It's just Allie. Hi.
Oh, hi, Allie.
Can I be off camera too? Sorry.
It's that kind of a day. Go for it.
So my fiance is coming from Australia.
Okay.
How do we get married here?
Oh, where do you live?
I live in Florida.
And of course, he's just coming to visit. You might decide later, once he's here and 60 days have gone by, to get married, right?
I mean, we already want to get married.
I know, but if he comes on a visit visa with the intention of getting married, that's called visa fraud. So he doesn't want to do that.
Oh, okay.
So if he decides while he's here after 60, if he gets married in the first 60 days, he's going to get hit with a fraud, potentially a fraud charge. So he can't get married in the first 60 days.
Okay.
So,
but
so in answer to, I'll now answer your question. Most
okay.
jurisdictions, as long as the foreign national has a passport, will let them get married. It's usually not a big deal. I mean, Florida's crazy, so who the hell knows? But generally anybody can get married if they're breathing and they have proof of who they are and proof that they're eligible to marry.
So would it be better for him to just do the normal immigration and then we talk about that?
Yeah, I would say
he's wanted to move here before we even met. You know, just that is now a factor that we would discuss, I guess.
Yeah, I would say let's not do jack squat until he's been here for 2 months and then talk about it then.
Okay. So then some of my other questions I can't ask. Okay. So he's gonna
listen. You can ask me whatever you want. We'll just talk about this hypothetical person who's coming to the United States from Papua New Guinea.
Okay. Is that the same as Australia though?
It probably is. All right, I'll pick something else. Gdansk, Poland. They're coming to us from Poland.
Okay. I'm on disability. Can I be his sponsor if I don't know how that works.
So a U.S. citizen who marries the foreign national is always the primary sponsor. If the U.S. citizen doesn't make enough money, then they have to find a green card holder or a citizen to be the joint sponsor.
Okay, even if he has his own job?
Even if he's a millionaire.
What is the amount that needs to be made?
Mm-hmm. So for a single person, in my mind, I always think about $30,000, and then if they're married, I add $6,500, and if they have a kid, I add $6,500 for each kid.
Okay, sorry, I'm writing it down.
It's okay. That's why we do this.
A co-sponsor?
Yeah, this is all recorded. You can come back and watch it later. But yeah, co-sponsor. Just look on my YouTube channel. There's lots of things about affidavit of support and co-sponsor. So you'll need a co-sponsor. If this hypothetical person with the fiance from Gdansk, Poland, will need a co-sponsor if they don't make, say, $30,000 of adjusted gross income on their tax returns for each of the last 3 years.
Okay. And let's say that this hypothetical person, he has a job in his country, but that he can keep because it's remote. Yeah. And they've already said that it's remote, or that he can keep it. But also
while he's on vacation from Poland, not while he's bringing all of his earthly possessions and moving here, right?
Yeah, they said he can keep it no matter what, like no matter what he does.
That's great.
But then also he works remote, like commission jobs that are already here. So most of his work is here already.
So he works in Australia. He works in Australia for a United States company.
Yes, as an artist. So for like individuals as an artist.
Okay.
So how is that income declared?
So that's a question for an accountant.
Oh, okay. Can I ask why? Because doesn't he have to say how much he makes when he applies for citizenship? Or it's just me?
Green card?
Right, yeah. Sorry.
there's some stuff where he's going to have to demonstrate the ability to work and not become a public charge. Whether they delve into his exact sources of income, that's a different thing. So I don't know that you need to worry about that for purposes of immigration.
Okay. So when it comes to so I live with family currently, but I'm moving out.
Okay.
When it comes to sorry, this is kind of confusing. So
Okay.
if he's going on vacation, but he needs to kind of go back and forth for a little while,
Mm-hmm.
when it comes to renting, what would we put on an application eventually? If he's going to be, if this person would be living with me.
Yeah. So, and he's going to be leaving the United States or just leaving the city that you live in Florida?
Like leaving the United States to go back to his home country, just
Okay,
back
so
and forth. How would that work, and how
let's
much
talk about that.
time?
Let's talk about that because we're going to talk about our little Polish friend. So our little Polish friend, if he
Right.
comes to the United States, what I always say, Allie, is that he is bubble boy. He's sort of up on the shelf for a good long while. And what do I mean by that? Well, he can't apply for a green card in the first 60 days and probably shouldn't even get married the first 60 days. Then he gets married.
Right.
Then his spouse files an I-130 petition for him and he files for a green card. And then that gets receipted and he has to apply for this thing called advance parole. So advance parole is the permission for him to leave the United States to go back to Poland while his green card case is pending. If he leaves before the green card case is pending, then the filing fees are all lost and he has to start over. So
Okay.
So advance parole historically takes 6, 7, 8 months. They say it's going faster because now you have to pay for it separately. But yeah, he's on the shelf for probably 6 to 9 to 10 months, without the ability to leave to go back to Poland. Does that make sense?
So basically, to be safe, we'd just have to block out like a whole year.
Yeah. I mean, our friend from Poland might get the green card a lot faster because they're supposedly going faster, but
making preparations and stuff like
yeah. And when you were getting on that, when you were asking me those questions about, damn it, I got ink all over my hand. When you were asking me those questions about his working in the United States, I thought you were going to ask me a different question. What I thought you were going to ask me was, Jim, if he's in the United States, can he continue work remotely for that Australian company? And would it affect his immigration? Would that be working without authorization? And if he worked for these side jobs he has, working for American companies in the United States before he gets work authorization? I thought that's what I thought.
That's a good question. I didn't even think about that, but that's a good point.
Yeah. So here's what I'll say about all that, okay? I think being in the United States, so first of all, let me say that our country's employment authorization rules have not caught up to technology. In other words, when they wrote these rules, there was no internet. There was no, I mean, very, very, very few people could work remotely, right? Like maybe authors or something, or painters or something, because they could write or create wherever they are. But generally, it's all not set up for people working remotely. I mean, you can be an immigration lawyer now. Most of our immigration lawyers don't live with us or work with us here in St. Louis, right? So the laws aren't caught up to that. So I think he's on much more solid ground working for an Australian company while physically visiting you in the United States than he would be working for an American company, even though he usually does in Australia, but now he's in the United States. Now it's closer to unauthorized work, if that makes sense, right?
Okay.
Now, the last piece I'll say, though, is let's say that our friend from Poland came to the United States 6 years ago. And let's say that in those 6 years, he's been working nonstop without permission, without authorization, without an EAD, and he marries a U.S. citizen. If the U.S. citizen files for that person and the green card gets approved, USCIS is convinced it's a real marriage, it's for love, it's not for obtaining an immigration benefit, then any of that 6 years worth of work by our little Polish friend would be forgiven.
So he could get in trouble for the work that he's done?
No, not the work that he's done, but if he's here in the United States. So let's say, I'm just going to make up a hypothetical, okay? So we have our little friend, we'll call him Lech from Gdansk in Poland.
Okay.
And Lech has worked for an American company and has worked for a Polish company. And when he comes to the United States, he's going to be able to work. He can still work remotely while he's visiting his fiance, and he's working in the United States for the Polish company. And then he's also doing work for a company out of Texas and a company out of Miami. What I'm saying is that there's a question as to whether any of that is unauthorized work. I think there's an argument that it is. I think there's an argument that the work for the Polish company is not, but the U.S. companies is. And I think there's an argument that none of it's work. So I think it runs the whole spectrum. Does that make sense?
Okay. So what, it just depends on who's looking at our forms or something?
Technically, yes. But what I'm saying is if he's married to a U.S. citizen and they say this is a real marriage, then it's all forgiven.
Okay. So after the 60 days, then we would start the process of doing the interviews and stuff?
Well, filing the paperwork and hoping to get an interview soon. If you get an interview, might get approved without an interview.
Oh, okay. I mean, we're ready to do all that. This hypothetical readiness.
Right. Yeah. I think here's what I would really say. Do one of two things. Either spend a lot of time looking at all my videos, because we talk about this stuff all the time. Right. So this is like at our firm, this is all that we do pretty much is marriage cases and lawsuit cases. Right. So it's a big part of our, so you could learn a lot. It sounds like you're sort of at the beginning of your adventure. Maybe spend a lot of time looking at the videos on my channel. There's like 2,000 of them and just start to get up to speed to educate yourself. And then once he's here and 2 months have gone by, if you want our help, I think you might want to get some help to do all this right. But you can decide later. Just keep watching the show, watch the channel, and we can talk later, okay?
Okay. Sorry if my hypothetical questions are kind of involved and weird.
No, they're not involved or weird at all. It's just it's something we talk about a lot, so you can keep learning. You did great. You don't have to apologize for jack squat.
Okay. I had spoken to a lawyer before, and they basically said, I don't even want to answer any questions. I was like, okay.
All right, great. Well, stay in touch, Allie. We'll be here, okay?
Thank you.
See you, kid. All right. That was a good call. Lots of good information. Listen, we all had Tony's right. Everyone has to start somewhere. I had to start somewhere. I had to learn what an I-130 was. There was a time where I didn't know what an I-130 was, if you can believe that. Hello, Moon.
Hi, guys. Hi, Jim. Can I remove my camera for a second?
Yeah.
Thank you so much. So, Jim,
I got you off camera.
Okay. So let me first thank you, Jim, for your time and for you doing with all these people. It's great. From the bottom of my heart, I just wanted first to thank you for your information.
Sure.
I had the opportunity to call you a few months ago.
Okay.
So let me give you a quick background of my situation. So I applied for my wife. I'm a green card holder. Applied for my wife. Our I-130 was approved for over a year ago. Now we're waiting for an interview, and looks like they speeded up a little bit the process. My application, I initially applied for her back to November 2021. I think when I look at the bulletin, now they're in November 15. So it looks like my assumption is we can receive a call from them soon, or an email for an interview for her, because so my application, as I said, was in November 20th, 2021. In the bulletin, they said they reached application where they were applied in November 15, 2021. So we're almost there.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
What is the start date on your green card?
My green card?
Uh-huh.
Oh, okay. So that's a different question. Okay, my green card. So I initially got the green card back to 2013. And I renewed my green card a year ago. And the reason why is that I left the country for a while.
Okay, so when anytime soon that you can apply for citizenship?
Okay, so okay, that will lead us to our next question because so now I'm going back and forth to my home country. So
Okay.
what I'm doing is I'm trying to stay less than 6 months so that I don't lose the count. And I will finish this 4 years requirement next year on July 2025.
So you had a big old trip that broke your continuous presence. You're going to apply on the 4 year and 1 month rule, and you've made sure to have at least half. You have half the time in the United States.
Almost. I still have 6 months to complete these 30 months.
Okay. All right. I'm cool. Okay.
Yeah.
So you're becoming a citizen sort of soon is not an immediate option, but and you're really, really close on her priority date for the.
That's correct.
Got it. Okay. All right. I'm with you.
Yeah. And the second question is, meanwhile, we had a baby, and I didn't inform the immigration that we had a baby. He's now 8 months. Should I do something to inform the immigration before her interview, or
what was the stat? What was the stat? Okay, so now I'm glad you told me that. So we don't want you to become a citizen because if you do, you're going to have to file a new I-130 for that kid.
Okay, so the timing. Just give you the timing. We got the baby after her I-130 got approved.
Okay, and was it before or after she was documentally qualified?
After.
The kid was born after she was documentally qualified.
Yeah, because I assume, yeah.
Okay, and what embassy are we going to be dealing with?
Say again? Morocco.
Morocco? Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And so when did she get documentally qualified and when did the kid get born?
Ooh, okay, the kid got born last year, October 2023. And I think we got qualified a few months before that.
So there's been no effort to notify the National Visa Center that there's this kid.
No.
I would start trying to do that now. I would start bugging them, trying to get a hold of them, trying to send them the birth certificate. I might even send it by FedEx. I don't want the first time for them to even hear about the kid to be when she has her embassy interview. It might still happen, but I'd prefer for that to be out in the open ahead of time. It shouldn't be a huge deal, but you should be trying to get her DS-260 reopened so that you can add the kid.
Yeah, because my understanding is that we don't need a new I-130 for the kid.
You don't. Only if you become a citizen do you.
Okay. And and you said that they don't want you to be a citizen. Is that will impact my citizenship request or something?
No, Jim, I'm saying I don't want you to become a citizen because if you become a citizen, then like let's just say for instance, like this is I've actually seen this happen, okay? Let's say that your wife has her interview at Casablanca on August 1st. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
But let's say you became a citizen on July 15th. If you became a citizen on July 15th, then you have to start all over for that kid with a new
Oh, okay.
That's why I don't want you to become a citizen.
Okay, great. Yeah. I'm not gonna apply for my citizenship until I bring them to the US. Is there any wrong? Now I'm staying in Morocco for like 2 months, and I'm working remotely with my company. So my understanding is, as long as I'm not spending more than 6 months in Morocco, I'm good to go.
Well, just remember you have good days and bad days overall towards your citizenship. But yeah.
You're right. And last question for you, Jim, and I'm so sorry. My understanding is that my kid will become a citizen. Of course, I need to apply for it, but my son will become a citizen, and once I'm a citizen, I can apply for his citizenship too. If of course he will be less than 21. Am I correct with this?
There's a question there?
Yeah. So I said, can I apply for my son once I'm a citizen for his citizenship too?
So here's what'll happen. Your wife and your kid are going to get visas to the United States. And then they're going to be here in the United States. Your kid's going to be admitted as a lawful permanent resident. Then what's going to happen is you're going to naturalize before they turn 1 or 2, or as long as it's before they're 18. Then that kid is a citizen by operation of law.
Oh, okay, by operation of law. Great.
Yeah, I think.
And she needs to wait 3 years until she applies, or 5 years, 3 or 5 maybe for her.
It'll have to be 3 years of you being a citizen and 3 years of her having her green card. Both those things will have to be true.
Oh, okay, got it. And how should I inform the immigration for my son? Should I send them a letter or an email?
You're talking about National Visa Center?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would just bug the shit out of them. I'd get on their website, figure out every which way you can contact them, and try to know.
Sounds good, Jim. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
You know, I love Morocco, right?
I know. You've been there so many times.
Yeah, no, just once, but I loved it. We were going back because we missed.
Oh, you actually visited a lot of cities. You visited Marrakesh, Sina, if I remember correctly.
All right, buddy.
Thanks, man.
See you, man.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Later.
Take care.
Bye. All right, bye. John is here. Hello, John.
Hey, good morning or good afternoon, Jim. How you doing?
We're right on the bubble. It's all good. How you doing?
I'm all right. I'm hanging in there. So I'm gonna try to make this quick because you know, you're busy man. I see you doing a lot of good work for people out there.
Thanks, bro.
So I got married to my wife in Pakistan, December 29th, 2021.
Okay.
Filed for I-130 on May 17th of 2022. Documentarily qualified July 25th of 2023. It's been stuck at the MVC Center. I recently, was it April 5th, requested to expedite because my mom, she's been recommended from an oncologist to have a caregiver. So she's dealing with some advanced cancer right now.
Sorry to hear that.
Yeah. So I have been requesting, and I've requested multiple times to expedite via. There's like 2 categories on the USCIS website. They've multiply denied it outright without any type of substantial.
That's not a surprise. You know, I don't believe much in expedite requests. Most are denied, and even when they say they grant it, they don't do shit. So I would stop wasting your time with that.
Okay, so there's nothing we could do in regards to that, even though we have substantial medical evidence deeming it.
I've heard the ultimate expedite denial request. I don't think I'll ever hear one worse. I heard it last week. A guy needed to get his advanced parole expedited so that he could go home and give his father a kidney. They didn't give it to him, and the dad died. So as far as those evil bastards who are in charge of expedite requests, I think it's all bullshit.
Okay.
So to me, here's what I'd be focusing on.
Mm-hmm.
When you are out and about on the internet looking up to see what cases they're interviewing in Islamabad for immigrant visas, what are you seeing, and are you beyond that, I guess, is my question.
Well, I am seeing there's some Facebook website that's posting updates, but the accuracy I'm not completely sure on, because they're saying that they're in December of 2022. However, I see comments below it saying, well, mine was in November. How come I haven't received an interview letter?
So you're 2020. You're July of 2022.
July of 2023. So I mean, I've done also that as well. Contacted Congressman's office, and they're giving the same, same baloney that they give everybody.
So when did USCIS approve the I-130?
They approved it. Like it was May of 2023, and then I had to go through that whole process of getting documentarily qualified. It took about a month and a half.
Oh, so that's not bad. Okay. So the State Department has only had the case since May of 23?
That's correct.
Yeah, so I think there's nothing I could do for you at least until next year. So I think you're just waiting.
Okay. Okay, so just basically wait it out. Okay. All right, perfect.
Thanks, John. Good luck, man. Good luck to your mom. Jim. See you, buddy.
Thank you.
Now, Donna, as she is so often want to do, brought up a great topic, and that's called 1990s NBA basketball. Now, Donna, you might not know this, but I did get to see my all-time favorite NBA player, Patrick Ewing, former Georgetown Hoya and New York Knick. I got to see him play at Madison Square Garden in 1995, 1990. Oh, maybe it was in 93. Anyway, I love the Knicks back then. I love the Knicks now, right? But I loved the Pistons. I mean, I hated the Pistons, but that was a great time. Reggie Miller. I was just thinking about that the other day when he went like that, when he sunk that shot against the Knicks and Spike Lee going crazy. So Donna, as she often does, Robert says, damn the garden. As Donna often does, she's right on target. All right, let's go to BM Barbershop. Hello. Can't hear you.
Hey, Jim, how are you? I'm glad I discovered this page. I'm really happy I discovered this page.
Awesome.
So my father is an American citizen. He was born in Detroit. All my family lives in the U.S., except for my father. He actually is a landed immigrant here in Canada. In my research, I kind of just stumbled upon the fact that if I was born out of wedlock to a U.S. Parent who's the father, after 1972, all I have to do is prove that my father was physically present in the U.S. for a total of 5 years. 2 of which would be after the age of 14, I believe.
Right. Hold on, I'm going to get up my little chart.
Okay.
So out of wedlock, birth abroad, that's you, right?
Yep.
U.S. citizen father and alien mother, right?
Yes.
Oh my gosh, my little sticker's there. And you were born between November 14th, 1971 and November 14th, 1986?
I was born 89.
Okay, so you're, oh my God, look, my little sticker's right there on you. The book knew you were calling. All right, so let's see. Father, physically present in the U.S. or possession 5 years prior to child's birth, 2 of which were after age 14. That's you?
I'm hoping so. I don't know how to prove his physical presence.
Hold on, and there's another requirement. I'm going to read. Do you know about this one? Blood relationship established between father and child. Father, a U.S. citizen at time of child's birth. Father agrees in writing to support the child. You got that too?
Yeah, he signed my birth certificate.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so is it a close call that Dad was here those 5 years? Is it not a close call? Like, what? Walk me through his time in the United States.
I just asked him not too long ago. He was living there as a child, but he's the youngest. He's the youngest of the 5 siblings. So when they did come back to Canada, he ended up staying in his teenage years. So I'm not exactly sure how long he was there, but he's always been back and forth. So I know that physical presence doesn't have to be actually living there. So,
well, it can be counting days. What?
Yeah.
Did he do high school in the United States?
No, I don't believe so.
High school in Canada.
High school in Canada, but I know he was back and forth throughout the rest of his life. So.
But back and forth could be in the United States for 3 days, or back and forth could be back for a year or 2.
Yeah, he could have been back for a month, 2 months. Like, I work for immigration here. I'm trying to figure out CBSA, like see his records of going back and forth, but like it's almost impossible to find it without him doing it himself.
I think that's. Are you and he tight? Are you okay?
Yeah, we're pretty tight now. Yeah.
And
the thing is, all my cousins, all his siblings, kids, they all have dual citizenship.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been asking them how they prove physical presence, but like my uncles are in the military. They're all, you know what I mean? Like one's a trucker, he's back and forth all the time. So it's very easy for them to prove presence. My grandparents are still over there. They're in Seattle. But I'm just not sure how to go about it, like how I can get any type of public record on his name.
Well, how about this? Let's start with the 3 years before he turned 14. Did he ever?
That's for sure. He went to grade school there, so I know.
So you can get those records.
I think that's the easiest thing to prove, yeah.
Grade school records. School records are the best, and hospital or doctor stuff. Yeah. Right. What city was it?
He was in Pontiac,
Michigan. Oh, so
yeah, that's between Detroit and Pontiac.
Yep. Yeah. I think you just I would do a deep dive with your dad. Say, Dad, I need an hour of your time. I want to sit down and I want to talk about where you've lived from start to finish, and then see where you go from there.
Okay. And then just start calling schools and stuff, I guess. Like, how would I prove it to the immigration?
Yeah, you're going to have to get his school records. He's going to have to sign releases. Most schools will, I don't know if they'll have him how far back it was. If you're born in 86, so he's probably older than me. What's he like, born in the 60s?
Yeah.
Yeah. You're on it. You're asking all the right questions.
Okay. Is there any way to go through, like, my grandfather? Or
that can be harder. It's possible, but it can be hard. It can be possible, but it's harder.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much, Jim. I appreciate
See you, man. Later. All right. Yes, Donna. I did know Patrick is Jamaican, and he is my favorite player. I mean, I love the Hoyas. I love John Thompson. I loved the Hoyas. So Patrick going to the Knicks was great. I love the story about whether the NBA rigged it so that Patrick could go to the Knicks. It's all good stuff. The funny thing is Gary Vaynerchuk talks all the time about, if you can believe it, the Detroit Pistons playoffs when they won the championship, that was on tape delay. Back in the old days, they didn't even air the NBA live, if you can believe that. The playoffs, they didn't air the playoffs live. They put it on tape delay. For those of you kids who don't know what that means the game would be played up against another thing that people wanted to see. Like, it was like, let's say it was up against must-see TV, which was like Cheers and Family Ties and all those things. They would tape the game, and then they'd play it at midnight for all the NBA fans to watch at midnight. It was crazy. So the NBA's come a long way. All right, so that'll do it for today's show. Tomorrow, we're going to do a show. What time, I think we got it for 3 o'clock tomorrow. We'll see. That might change, but I think, 3 o'clock tomorrow. Tony's reminding me of the OJ chase. Tony, we talk about OJ at our house about 4 times a week. So we talk about the OJ chase during the NBA Finals. That was the Pistons too, all the time at our house. All right, guys. I'll see you tomorrow at 3 p.m. Central. Great show. Lots of fun. Big ups to all the Yardies, and we'll see you guys later. I'm great about that, other than trying to help people who are in the state